Okay, preacher again here, folks. I'm back to the regular videos now. Hope you're watching my fundraiser video because I can sure use the help. Anyway, folks, tonight I'm going to tell you about a couple guys, if I have time. First I'm going to tell you about a guy named Mark Silk. Now, I've told you about checking in. Ain't good paying your bills. Not paying your bills ain't, because they'll put some holes in you, all right? But there was this guy, Mark Silk, right? And he had a good old lady, all right? But she'd look out, but he'd have to look out back, right? So what he would do, he'd come to a yard, and he'd go and get 3 papers of dope for $100 from one guy. His old lady, Western Union, the money, $100. He'd go get 3 papers of dope for another guy, Western Union, the money, $100 there. He'd go get 3 papers of dope for another guy, Western Union, the money's there right now. So now, the yard knows now, this guy's got money. He pays quick. So then what he does is he goes and he says, give me 5 grams. I sent him Western Union. Okay, cool. Because they know. He's down with it. He's got it. So he goes and gets 5 grams from this guy, 3 grams from this guy, 4 grams from this guy. And then puts it up his ass and runs to the hole. And he goes to the hole and he gets a job as a porter. Because if you check in and don't tell, you got to stay in the hole for a fucking year before they transfer you. Then they're not sending you to a lower yard. You're going to another USP. You're going to maximum security. And at that time, there was only 6 USPs. So, you know, it's a hit and miss if you bump into somebody you owe or not. It's a small system for real. And if you're in maximum security, there's not very many places, like I said, that you can go. And one of the maximum security is Marion, so you got to really fuck up to go there. All right. But Mark almost got me, but he didn't. All right. I didn't have no dope at the time, or I would have gave it to him and he would have got me. All right. Well, he does 3 guys and he goes to the hole. I go to the hole sometime later, 4 or 5 months later. He's got his porter job in the hole. He's running around doing this, that, and the other, right? So I see him and I go, hey, Mark, what's your trip, dude? He says, dude, I ain't no soft motherfucker. He says, I'm a professional check-in. He goes, that's what I do. And then he told me a story how he does, and then he runs off. Then he goes to the hole, and he sells $600 worth of the dope, which is less than 1 of the grams that he got, right? He sends the money to his old lady, so she doubled her money. Well, not quite, she had to pay Western Union and all that, but almost doubles her money. Then he sits in the hole, gets a bunch of groceries, shoots dope till it's gone, kicks, and then gets transferred to the next spot and does it all over again. Anyhow, it's not a very healthy life, but it was his life. There was this other guy, though, that had, I don't know if you guys remember who Jimmy Durante was. He was a movie star, but he was famous because he had a huge fucking nose. Well, Barry Ojanovic, he had a huge fucking nose. He was from San Diego. And we called him OJ. But, of course, it's not Barry Ojanovic. I asked him, what OJ? And he goes, opium joint. Then in Vietnam, he always had an opium joint in his mouth. So they called him opium joint. OJ. Anyhow, this fucking guy. Him and another buddy of mine, John Parker, he's down there, got a job at the Marine Post welding. He's a hell of a welder. John comes down there and gets him, and they end up getting buzzed for bank robbery. They robbed a bank, they got on a fucking bus, and the dye pack exploded on the bus. And they had their last $10 they had in their hand when they went in the bank. They went and did a note robbery, right? And they did in the bank, and their last $10 got ruined with the dye pack. They're on the bus. They jump off the bus, the whole bus is full of red dye. These 2 guys were fucking crazy. OJ used to come down to my cell on Saturday and Sunday morning. He said, hey, preach, are you going to milk? That's just what he called it. I mean, you went and got a cinnamon roll and all the milk you could drink in the feds. It ain't like the state, but you got a cinnamon roll and all the milk, whatever, some cold cereal, whatever. him and I go sit down, but Barry'd always come and tell me, "You going to milk?" Yeah. He was doing let's see, I think he was doing a 20 piece. He might be, he's probably out, he's out by now, I'm sure, unless he's dead. But if you see this, OJ, give me a holler on Facebook, bro. It's been a long time. Anyway, folks, like my videos, subscribe to my channel, and please log on to my GoFundMe account and give me a hand. This is Preacher saying, take it easy, fellas. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.